If the Enola Gay only dropped one nuclear weapon on Japan, why does its livery include multiple Fat Man victory markings? It's because the 509th Composite Bomber Group dropped 49 of these on Japan prior to the first nuclear device. This is a non-nuclear pumpkin bomb, also developed by the Manhattan Project. The pumpkin bomb was designed to mimic all of the characteristics of the eventual plutonium device for the sake of testing and training. The armed versions contained 3 tons of RDX and TNT, mimicking the mass and weight distribution of the so-called physics package of the Fat Man. Target testing was performed with inert devices of the same mass, with early testing revealing that the initial design was unstable in flight and that its proximity fuses were unreliable. The pilots also required flight time to get accustomed to the flight characteristics of the B-29 when carrying such an unusual load. The devices were always referred to as pumpkin bombs, even in official documents, stemming from their shape and the fact that some of them were painted with an orange zinc chromate primer compound. The pumpkin bomb had 3 contact fuses arranged in an equilateral triangle on the nose. The atomic device would have 4, intended to destroy the device should the proximity and altitude fuses fail. The pumpkin bomb halves were welded together, but the Fat Man was bolted and then sealed with asphalt. The composition B high explosive of the pumpkin bomb could be liquefied and poured into the casing through a small hole, whereas the physics package for the nuclear device required the ability to open the bomb entirely. Combat missions were flown by the 509th using pumpkin bombs in July and August of 1945, targeting individual targets within Japanese cities. A total of 49 high-explosive devices were dropped on 14 targets, using the exact same protocols and mission parameters that the nuclear attack would take, releasing their payload at 30,000 feet, then banking 155 degrees to the right, mimicking the need to dodge an atomic blast. A strategic bombing survey after the war concluded that the pumpkin bombs were a reasonably effective weapon against Japanese plants when they scored direct hits, or were dropped close enough to vital areas, with a near miss typically causing significant structural damage.
130 kilograms of explosive material. This can create a fireball of 50 meters across with a 370-meter lethal area. Due to the amount of energy being released, the blast wave can make damages up to 800 meters or half a mile away.